Who here likes sharks? Well, today I'm going to be talking about the richest shark of them all, Mark Cuban. Today I'll be telling you a brief summary of how Cuban got started as an entrepreneur, some of his biggest purchases, and some fun facts. First, I will tell you how Mark Cuban got started. According to BloombergQuickTake.com, Mark Cuban was born in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. At the age of 12, he was already going to his neighbors and trying to sell garbage bags, newspapers, and stamps. Mark actually spent 25 cents on a page of stamps and ended up walking away with $50. And at that point in his life, he knew that entrepreneurship was the move for him. Mark Cuban was also known for being tech savvy at such a young age. He originally designed a company called Micro Solutions, which was initially a system integrator and software reselling company, which he later sold. After selling this company in 1995, Mark and a long-term friend, Todd Wagner, came up with an internet-based solution to be able to listen to Hoosiers basketball game out in Texas. That solution was Broadcast.com, which would stream audio over the internet. This was actually one of the first companies to be able to do so. Any other time, you were having to listen to everything on the internet, try to find the channel, things like that. Mark and his team turned that into a much easier way, which was that company. According to Biography.com, Cuban made fortune through the sale of his startup companies, Micro Solutions and Broadcast.com, in the 1990s when they sold their companies to Yahoo in exchange for stock. Although Cuban's story started much earlier, according to ClutchPoints.com. At the age of 12, Cuban was already selling garbage bags to his neighbors to make money. During college, Cuban also gave disco lessons to help pay his way through Indiana University. Next, I'm going to tell you about what Mark Cuban's biggest purchase was. In the late 1990s, Cuban decided to cash in his Yahoo stock for a couple $1 billion. But in 1997, Cuban's home was built. He purchased it in 1999 for $17.6 million, and surprisingly, Cuban has lived in this house since then, which is very surprising due to the fact that he's a billionaire, although it shows how smart Cuban is financially. In 2000, Cuban purchased the Dallas Mavericks for $285 million. In 2011, the Mavericks won an NBA championship and are now worth an estimated $2.3 billion. According to ABC.com, Cuban's biggest and proudest purchase was a private jet. Cuban claims that the only thing you can't get back is time. So by buying this jet, he's able to do so many things and hop on the jet and do whatever he needs to do in a small amount of time than it would be if he were to drive everywhere. Lastly, I will be giving you some fun facts about Mark Cuban. Mark Cuban was born on July 31st, 1958, and lives in Dallas, Texas. According to GrooveWallet.com, Mark Cuban is worth $4.1 billion. According to Forbes.com, Mark Cuban owns the Dallas Mavericks, has stakes in Magnolia Pictures, AXX TV, and a dozen other small startups. Mark Cuban has been an investor on Shark Tank for 9 of the 11 seasons. Cuban has invested more than $22 million into businesses that have been featured on the show. And according to Forbes.com, Cuban was actually featured on WWE and slammed onto a table. In conclusion, I have told you how Mark Cuban got started, what he was able to purchase with his fortune, and some fun facts about Cuban.